Did you know that the Elegant Edge Tag Topper Punch can do so much more than create tags? I have got two fabulous cards to share with you today. We're going to do something a little different with that tag punch. So let's get started creating these oh so clever cards. Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Tuesday tip. Let's get to creating some amazing cards using the Elegant Edge Topper Punch. You are going to love this punch hack. It is so much fun, so you can see how we've used that punch in just some really unique ways. I'll tell you what, let's start with this very cheery Hello There card. This card features the Darling Details stamp set. Now, by the way, this stamp set does have a matching set of dies that you can purchase. We're not going to be using those today. I think this stamp set is perfect to just stand alone. And you know, this card uses minimal supplies. So I have got a piece of Lemon Lolly cardstock. Mine is cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. You could also go 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of Daffodil Delight. It goes so well with this Lemon Lolly. That's 2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And for my focal image, I have a piece of basic black 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 and a piece of basic white 2 by 2. So that'll layer with just a really nice delicate border. And then we're going to bring in a bow with the black and white gingham ribbon. Now, not to worry if you have missed any of the measurements. As always, I've got a free download that goes along with today's video. So you're going to have the photos, you're going to have the measurements. Here's my supply list. By the way, if you need to watch this video again, you can scan or click right here. And friends, if you are in the United States, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have all the supplies I used on the card right here. Order what you need or use what you have. We're going to start with some stamping, and I'm going to bring in a Daffodil Delight ink pad. And as I said, everything I'm using today is from the Darling Details stamp set. And I'm going to take this very small flower, and I'm just going to stamp it randomly all over my Lemon Lolly cardstock. And remember, that is in the Daffodil Delight ink. I'm now going to come in with a basic black marker, and I'm going to make all those little flowers pop by just giving the center a little dot. All right, now we're ready to stamp the inside of our card. I'm going to bring in my Memento black ink pad. And the sentiment I'm going to use here, I love this, "You're not here, I hate that." What a great sentiment to maybe an old friend who lives far away. Back in with that Daffodil Delight and that little flower. We'll just add that there. All right, now I'm going to come in with the outline of that big flower. This is just the outline, and we're going to put that right down here. And to color it in, we're going to use the Lemon Lolly. And this is just going to give it just a nice fill in. And we're going to use the solid stamp, and don't you love it? It just gives it a really nice soft look. Now, I do want to make sure I come back in with my basic black and fill in the center of those flowers. Now it's time to stamp that 2 by 2 piece of white cardstock. This, of course, is for the front of our card. So because we're saying, "I miss you and I hate that," we're going to stamp "Hello There" right there in the upper right corner. Now let's repeat the flower outline in Daffodil Delight, and then we'll color it in with the Lemon Lolly. I am just going to adhere that stamp sentiment right there on the basic black. Now it is time for that really fun border technique featuring the Elegant Edge Tag Topper Punch. I'm going to take that Daffodil Delight, and the opening for this punch is 2 inches, all right? So your cardstock will always need to be 2 inches long. So I'm going to push it in as far as it will go. Give that a punch. See, right now we've got a really great tag, right? Well, let's go ahead. We're going to add the other end all the way inside the punch. We're going to punch it again, and we're going to have something like this. Now, we are simply going to trim this away. I'm going to line up the edge of the punch at about 1 1 1/8, 1 1/4, somewhere around there. So we're going to trim these off. Now we're going to take what's left. We're going to repeat that. Of course, your cardstock's a little bit smaller now, but not to worry. Just make sure you've pushed it in all the way. Rotate it around. Ooh, it's going to be tight in there, but not to worry. You can see it fits just right. And now we'll just cut that in half. All right, we have our 4 border pieces. I'm now going to place adhesive on all 4 sides of that basic black sentiment, and check this out. We're going to line it up. I'm going to line it up on that center dot, just like that. So yeah, we lose a little bit of it, but that's okay. Now let's get the other end, and then we can repeat this here on the side. And there we go. We have taken that elegant edge tag topper punch and created a really beautiful border, don't you think? All right, let's bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. About 5 should do it. Let's add that to our stamped card. Now I'm going to come in with some mini glue dots, and I've got that sweet little bow that I made out of that black and white gingham ribbon, and we will add that right there to the bottom of the card. Oh my gosh, super cute. Don't you love ways to use your punches? And it just gives you more bang for your buck. All right, I have a second card with another technique for you. Don't forget about the free download that goes along with today's video and cards. I'd love for you to have that. Go to simplysimplestamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description for a direct link. I just loved this really soft and delicate card. You make every day a little bit brighter. This card is going to feature the Everyday Details stamp set. I'm using it a little bit different, although I love all of these images and the sentiments, of course. I'm going to just focus here on the flowers. I'm going to bypass the vase that it's in. And I have 2 techniques. I'm going to show you this one here. I did a little ombre, and then check it out. I also created a little edge to my sentiment. So I've got a crumb cake card base, and this is a 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces of basic white. This is a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. You could also use your dies, but I did go ahead and bring in my 2 3/8 inch circle punch for that. I have a 5/8 by 4.5. That'll be for my sentiment. And this is Pool Party. Again, this will be for our great tag punch. And this is another 2 inches by 5.5 inches. I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to use gray granite to stamp on my crumb cake cardstock. Just thought I'd change things up on you a little bit here. There is a sweet little stamp with just a little collection of dots, and I'm just going to randomly stamp those all around my cardstock. You notice I rotate my cardstock. That kind of gives me a little bit more of that random feel. I don't have to worry about moving my wrist all the time as I stamp. Let's stamp the inside of our card. So I've got wishing you so much joy on this special day. I'm going to stamp that right there. Down here in the bottom right corner, I'm going to take that stamp. Remember, I said we're going to bypass the vase. So I'm only going to ink up just the flowers, and I'll stamp those right there. And hey, let's add a few of our little dots around it. Okay, so the inside of our card is beautiful. Now we're going to create our focal image, this little circle focal image. So again, with the flowers, I'm going to stamp them right here in this circle. Now I caught a little bit of the vase, but look, my sentiment's going to cover it, so I'm not at all worried about that. It's going to be time to color this in. Stampin' Blends or Stampin' Write markers, whichever you prefer. Looks like I've got some Lemon Lime Twist, Fresh Freesia, Bubble Bath, and Lemon Lolly. In the Lemon Lime Twist, I will color in all of my leaves. And something else I like to do, I'm just going to kind of go over these leaves here. With the Bubble Bath, I'm just going to trace over the lines in the middle of this flower. Lemon Lolly, we'll just grab these little ones, and with Fresh Freesia, we'll get the last of our flowers. All right, it's time to do some punching. So I'm going to take my pool party cardstock and I'm going to start by only punching one end. Pushing it in as far as it'll go, punch it. I'm now going to bring in my grid paper in a pool party ink pad. And this is where we're going to get that little ombre. I have got a blending brush and I want to ink it up pretty good. I want this to really be kind of dark. So I'm going to just start blending this color right down here at the bottom. Now, if you don't have blending brushes, if you have sponge daubers, that would be great here as well. Just something like that, because we want to have a very distinct different color. All right, I'm going to trim this down. Oh, it looks like I've got it at about 1 inch there on that side. So we've got that. Now let's take what's remaining. And you see I have a little bit of ink there. I'm going to flip that over so I don't have to worry about seeing that. I'm going to flip this over, push it in. Let's punch one more time to get something like that. Now I am simply going to add adhesive and I'm going to adhere those together. Easy enough, right? With adhesive on the back, let's add that to the front of our card. Now it's time to create the sentiment, and that is done, this is at 7/8 by 4.5 basic white. Now for this, I need to flip my punch over. So you're going to push your cardstock all the way in, and we're going to be lining it up in these 3 little doodads. All right, we're just going to make sure that's lined up. Let's give that a punch, and we get this gorgeous little rounded edge. Now, I'm actually kind of glad this happened. Can you see I got a little hanging chad there? I mean, it's going to happen from time to time, but if you will take a nail file, look at this. Oh, it's gone. So there is a great little tip for you for removing that, smoothing out if you've got a little harsh edge. All right, we're going to repeat that here on the other side. Back in with our pool party ink. You make every day a little brighter. There is my stamped flower image. I've got dimensionals on the back of that. Couple dimensionals here on my sentiment, and you see that will just fit beautifully right there. And my friends, look at that. Don't you love that little ombre look down there? Fantastic card. I'm telling you guys, you cannot go wrong with the Elegant Edge Tag Topper Punch. So many opportunities to create some great cards. By the way, this sentiment could have been bigger and we would have just had more detail. Get creative using this punch. It really is fantastic. I think you're going to truly enjoy creating these cards. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hey, if you like the video, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. YouTube will let you know whenever I'm back with a new video. That's it for me today, my friends. Can't wait to stamp with you next time. Bye-bye.